Excuse me over there. One of y'all have the time? It's chilly night out here, ain't it?
Would you say that you're basic?
Yeah. Well, a lot. I think I got, had enough.
If you had a theme song, what would it be?
It's chilly night out here, ain't it?
Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Unnamed Sports Show right here on Gorilla Cross Radio. I'm your host, Quan59, and it's been a long time, but I'm back. We are back right here on Unnamed Sports Show live. I'll be live weekly again, man. I'm still trying to determine what day and time that live means, but most likely Mondays at 4, right before Monday Night Football. To talk about everything going on in the NBA, NFL, hockey, UFC, all that good stuff. But it's been a while, but we had to come back because the NBA season tips off tonight. And I got some friends with me in the building. First, let me introduce from Into the West Comics. You can find them on YouTube at Into the West Comics. My man, Frank, in the building. What's good?
Hey, man, I'm excited to be here. Usually I'm nerding out about comic book and the comic book culture, but I'm also a sports nerd, so I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. All right, I got my other man. He's been on before, man. He's a regular guest co-host, but from Let the Ball Bounce Sports Talk Radio. Catch them every Saturday once in a while at 2 p.m. right here on Gorilla Cross Radio. My man Dre Bailey in the building.
What's up, people, man? I appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir.
NBA,
Appreciate you being here.
NBA is here. Give me one of them 508s. I'm just messing with you. I didn't want to say the other one because then we would ask for sponsorship, but I want one of those 508s.
There's one in the fridge.
There's another one there. I got you.
But yeah, man, thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, a lot to talk about. I mean, this NBA tip-off, NBA seems like the season that keeps coming back like quick. Like when it's NFL seems to take forever to come back. We have a long drop-off. Baseball, the season's only from September to October.
Right.
So we don't really talk about that much. But basketball's back. I mean, the playoffs ended. Denver won the NBA championship, the first one ever. A lot of people are saying back-to-back for them. We're going to talk about some of the odds and see if the, books are saying that too. But there was so much movement in this NBA offseason. One of the latest deals was Dame Lillard going to Milwaukee, and then Giannis yesterday signing a huge contract extension that takes him through the rest of Lillard's contract as well. What are the biggest offseason moves you guys think happened? We saw Chris Paul going to Golden State. Does that make them better? Does that mess up their chemistry? Bradley Beal going to Phoenix. They have a big three, but not much else. But they did kind of, they got a little more on their bench than we thought they were going to get. What do you guys think the biggest moves were this offseason? Frank, I'll start with you.
I'd say that the Beal thing is the most interesting thing to me, just because of what they're going to be giving up as far as after you get past that big three. KD for all of his accolades and being recognized as such a high volume scorer.
Yeah.
He hasn't been known as being a great defender. So I think there's going to be a lot of games where they're scoring a ton of points, but I don't know how many stops they're going to get on a consistent basis, night in, night out. I love the potential of seeing him and Booker and Beal you know, in a fast break type of thing. That's going to be fun to watch. I mean, we're going to see it tonight. But I think that is the most interesting thing to me. That if it feels like they may have cut off your nose, spite your face. They have a lot of scoring, but I don't know if it's going to translate to wins. I'd say.
Do you know tonight's game in Golden State, where Phoenix visits Golden State, is Kevin Durant's first game against Golden State in Golden State?
Oh,
his first game back since he left.
Really?
The Warriors. He hasn't played. Injuries.
Else? Oh, wow.
Load management with their where they're trying to stop that this year. I don't know how they're going to stop that and say, no, you're not really hurt, but we'll see.
You better play.
Yeah, exactly. You better play. But yes, his first game back in Golden State since he left the Warriors, which is crazy to me when I heard that stat this morning.
Yeah.
But Dre, what do you got?
I mean, you know, I want to say Bradley Beal. And just to mention something about KD, man. KD, to me, and I know they have the whole KD and LeBron comparison, and LeBron's played with so many stars. I think that KD has played with more, if not better, offensive weapons to actually try to win championships. Let's go all the way back to OKC. He had James Harden, right? He had, he had Russell Westbrook, and then he goes over to Golden State. Then he has Steph Curry. Then he has Klay Thompson. Then he goes over to the Nets. He has Kyrie Irving and, Ben Simmons for a little bit. Now he comes over to Phoenix. Now he has, Booker and Bradley Beal. I mean, he has teamed up with some of the best in the league. And so I'm really interested in seeing how him and Bradley Beal are going to make that work. Let's just be real. There's only one ball still. So that Bradley Beal trade really intrigued me. Marcus Smart.
Real quick, I want to stay on them real quick. We hear it every year, right? Like when Kevin Durant got Ben Simmons and Kyrie, it's like they're gonna win it, like it was guaranteed. When Ben Simmons didn't work out, they end up getting Harden. Like, now it's over now. It didn't happen. He gets traded to Phoenix last year, right at the trade deadline. No one expected that trade to happen. He gets traded. Him, Booker, and CP3. It's
and
over.
They were like,
they're
over.
Winning it every single time. KD gets somebody, they say it's over. He's winning it. They're doing it again with Bradley Beal a little bit. Is Kevin Durant still that dude? He's 35 now. Like, he's getting older. He's not getting any younger. And these things have not worked out in the past the way everyone just expects it to work out.
I think he still is that dude. I think as long as he laces him up and goes on the court, you're going to have to worry about number 35.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, if you don't say that, then you're not a realist, right?
It's a lot of health things, isn't it? Like with KD, it feels like he's got some type of injury every year.
Yeah.
He recovers from the Achilles. He's got knee and foot issues. He's recovering from that. We don't know. Maybe it's his other knee.
Yeah.
It seems like there's always some type of nagging issue with him. And Dre, let's be real. He's big.
Yeah.
He's a big dude. And he's carrying a lot of weight. That's a lot of games on your body. It's a lot of mileage on your body. And I don't know if, over time, we're probably going to talk a little bit about, another guy who seemed to have a lot of potential coming into the league with Zion. But with KD, I don't know if he ever gets to that place where he is as effective as we'd like to see him be,
right?
I guess. But I think that it's going to be fun to watch the three of them play
together.
let's
just be honest. Booker, the last year or two, has had a lot of injuries late in the season.
That's true.
And let's be honest, Bradley Beal has had a lot of issues the last couple of years, early and late in the season. And so I think it's going to take a lot of the scoring load off of all three, but at the same time, I don't know collectively how that defense varies against certain schemes.
Chemistry's kind of we're not sure about.
Another interesting stat about the Phoenix Suns, they were just in the championship 3 years ago.
I
believe it was 3 seasons ago.
2021.
Devin Booker is the only player left from that championship team on the Phoenix Suns right now.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That is wild.
Well, but as an organization to be able to have one player from 3 years ago and then they're still championship contenders is pretty amazing too.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they're top 4 or 5 favorites in the
Yeah.
West. I mean,
Well,
not in the West of the league.
And I think that's just because of the names, right? You got
Sure.
KD, Booker, and Bradley Beal on the same team. If you're not top 5, something's horribly wrong.
Yeah, yeah. Chris Wynn said in the chat, pretty funny how a lot of people are talking about everyone except the world champs. The Nuggets are still right there. And I believe that. They lost a little bit with Bruce Brown, which he was huge coming off the bench.
Man, he was huge.
He was huge for them. And a lot of other teams got better. So I think that's why people are kind of looking at things a little bit different. But at the same time, you're right. Like Nikola Jokic has not done anything to show that year after year that he's not going to be just as good and dominant this year. But now they have a target on their back. People really didn't take them serious.
And I think
now they will.
I think Murray's going to be a lot better than he was last year.
He's going to be a lot healthier.
Lot healthier. I mean, he had
Porter
just come.
Jr., bro.
He just came off that injury. Porter Jr. is, I think is going to be always have that nagging back injury, for the rest of his NBA career. But it seems like all he needed to do was give them just a little bit. That's all they needed from him. But I think that Murray is going to be a lot better, a lot healthier. He's going to be a lot more explosive, and that he's my dark horse silently for league's MVP this year. I believe. I think he has a lot. He has a chip on his shoulder still.
Yeah.
And the fact that he is coming back a lot healthier. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I love it. I like what Denver is putting out there. They kept their team pretty much the same. The chemistry's still going to be there. They still have the coach. They did lose Bruce Bowen. He is a role player, so it remains to be seen who's going to come off that bench and give you those Bruce Bowen minutes. Because when Bruce Brown, when he came off the bench, man, he was unstoppable.
Yeah.
And confident too.
Yeah. Les Pickett, what's up, Les? The Nuggets not going to miss Bruce Brown as much as people think. Their 3 best players are back and under contract. I don't know, because I mean, when you talk about a bench, when you're trying to go all the way, and like I said, now they really have a target on their back. Like, people see them and know that they're the best team. They're the defending champions. I think a lot more people are going to be looking at Denver. This is not going to be an easy season for Denver because everyone's aiming at them. And you could talk to any other champions in the past, and when you win the championship, all other 30-some teams are looking at you to dethrone you and you alone. And so it's going to be a lot harder for them. I mean, Bruce Brown was fire off the bench, especially in the playoffs. Like, he made some big moves. So, and they didn't replace him with anybody. That's the problem. If they would have replaced him with somebody else, and going to the Western Conference Finals, like, I'm going to put my Laker fandom on, but Lakers were in every single game, even though they got swept. Lakers have had a whole offseason to be able to mesh, get all the new players in. Like they look like they're having fun in preseason. They've had a training camp. Last year they didn't. They made all these trades and still got to the Western Conference Finals when they weren't even going to make the playoffs before
like in
those
2
trades
waves,
happened.
right? Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
So they're going to be a lot more dangerous this year. Hopefully AD stays healthy. I mean, that's the big if, But let's go to Golden State real quick. Does Chris Paul make them better? Is he playing a full season? Is he going to be healthy in the playoffs? Because that's been Chris Paul's problem his whole 5 or 6 last years, correct?
High basketball IQ.
Mm-hmm.
He is he's very knowledgeable. He knows all of the little intricacies in game that take place. I think he is a huge value to what they're going to be doing going forward. The team is going to look different just by having him on the floor with Clay and Steph. It's going to be, I don't know how often, that's going to happen night in, night out, but it's going to be a constant rotation of him. Is he going to lead the second group? Is he going to be in like an off the bench type of role? I don't know. But it's very interesting to me to see how that works. I'm not sure if it does, because I think that we're kind of trailing towards maybe the end of the Warriors' run as far as their overall dominance. I mean, you think about what they did for such a long period of time. It was like an automatic. It's like, well, the Warriors will be in the finals in the West. We're gonna figure out who's gonna be in the East. Or it was like LeBron and against the Warriors like every year kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think that I think you're right. I think you get that floor general. But I'm going to take it a step further. You're going to get a Draymond Green at point guard.
Oh, I like that.
Okay, somebody who is tenacious on defense, somebody who is a little gritty and grimy, somebody who does not mind sticking his nose in somebody's face, doesn't mind fighting or arguing or using a foul or a hard foul, arguing with the ref. I think you're going to get that tenacious thing that Draymond Green has at that power forward at point guard. Now you have a Draymond Green at point guard in CP3 and one at the power forward. And I think on the defensive end, it's just going to make Golden State Warriors a lot more solid defensively because anybody that saw Steph Curry, and this is no knock, and I need you fandoms, that you Golden State Warrior fans to listen to this. This is no knock.
Relax,
you guys, arguably have the greatest shooter of all time on your floor. But let's not be naive. He's not making any first team all defensive teams. He's just really not.
No.
And so when other point guards are going up against Steph Curry and they see him on the opposite side of the ball, they're like, barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't come and help this dude, this is barbecue chicken. I don't think you can quite say that with CP3, running down the ball the way that he does on the defensive end. So I like the look for CP3 in this Golden State Warrior teams. I mean, it's going to help them on the offensive end. It doesn't need to because they have all the offense that they need. They need more grittiness on defense, and I think it's going to help them.
I like that a lot. I like that. That didn't even dawn on me. It was like having Draymond and Chris Paul just in practices together, just like they're yelling at people. Are gonna leave. Jordan Poole or Draymond Green is like punching. I mean, there's gonna be fist fights. They'll probably kill someone in practice. Right. I don't know. It's gonna be.
And Draymond and Chris Paul didn't like each other before this whole everything happened. So I mean, is that chemistry gonna work out? How is that going to be? But I think Chris Paul's at a stage in his career where wherever he goes, he's going to make it work for the betterment of the team. He's not going to be trying to play selfish ball.
Right.
I'm interested to see it, though.
He's not going to be like KD and pout about it when he gets into it with Draymond Green. He's going to argue back with him like, bruh, like, what are we talking about?
There's also the guy who's, he's high up as far as the players union and everything else. He knows how to politic.
And he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He absolutely is.
Is Draymond Green a first ballot Hall of Famer? That would be the argument.
The first ballot trash talker.
I mean, but that would be my argument. If I was CP3 and I had an argument with Draymond Green, I'd be, look, man, you got it. You got championships. That's great. But I'm a first ballot Hall of Famer. How about you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he actually would respect CP3, even though they didn't like each other a lot more than he did KD. He didn't have respect for KD.
Yeah,
it'd be a transition period. For them. But I think these first like tonight, the team is going to look drastically different than it will in like a month.
Yeah,
because they have to get used to playing together, spacing, and everything else. Where everybody wants the ball and everything else. Chris Paul is fantastic, basically with anybody. He finds a way to get the ball to anyone.
And I think that Chris Paul, who is the ultimate team player when it comes to helping big men develop. Let's see, he did it with Tyson Chandler. Mm-hmm. He did it with Blake Griffin. He did it with Andre Ayton over there. He is going to do it with Kuminga. And let me tell you, man, him and Kuminga are going with that second unit or whatever they put Chris Paul in, man. He is going to help Kuminga become a star.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like it.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton is, or he likes to be called, I'm dominating his press conference. He's up there in Portland. And they'll be talking about DeAndre Ayton again.
Man.
Yeah.
We won't see him for a long time.
We really won't.
We won't see him for a long time.
Portland on television this year? I don't even know if they're going to be on TV.
Yikes.
They have to have one game, so they'll be on once.
Okay.
But,
well, they got Scoot over there.
They got Scoot, so he's the second pick.
And I want what could have been to see Dame play with Scoot. But yeah. Oh well.
We knew that wasn't going to happen. We were here on draft night. We knew that wasn't going to happen.
More than likely, no.
I thought maybe it would be a good look, but hey, Dame had other things planned. So,
all right, let's get to some more of these comments. Chris Paul already getting on those guys' nerves from Les Pickett. I just hope Draymond doesn't try to find Chris Paul like he did, try to dope fiend Chris like he did Jordan Poole.
That's not happening.
Chris Wynn, to be honest, as much as I hate to say it as a Pistons fan, Can't say much as a Pistons fan. They got a good young squad, though. I love the makeup of this Lakers team. They will be top 5 squad in the West, even with the AARP leader in LeBron. Draymond will absolutely be a Hall of Famer, not first ballot, but he's in. He'll be in. I mean, he's talked enough to get himself in. Jay Spade, KD will be the reason they don't win. KD is a crybaby, and when he doesn't get touches, soft.
That's very true. That's very true.
People don't mention him being a crybaby as much as he is, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the narrative we get for KD. I feel like the media is really giving KD a lot of breaks that they don't give to other players that do the same type of things, or not even as much as him.
Why do you think that is?
Kyrie, I don't know.
Is he not as vocal as other players? I mean,
he has burner accounts.
He got those
on
burner
Twitter,
accounts.
You know, like
he's got multiple
vocal
conversations going on, Dre.
I just don't. KD. He. And I got to agree with Jay Spade on that, man. Every place he's went, he's cried for touches. Even at Golden State, he's cried for touches over in New York, and so New Jersey, wherever the Nets play, But I'm very interested in seeing how it's going to really work for a full season with Booker, because Booker is used to getting all of the touches. He's used to getting all of the last second shots. And honestly, right now, I'm going to just throw it out there. Booker, over the past couple of years, with him being an upcoming superstar the way he is, I'd rather put the ball in Booker hands with the time going down than KD. That's just
and
me.
It was kind of like that in the playoffs. We saw that a lot in the playoffs.
I tend to agree with you, yeah. I'd like to see that as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he takes a step back on that.
All right, what are your predictions for the West? Who's coming out of the West? I'm taking Lakers because I'm a homer. But I also do think like they got a lot better than they were last year and have a lot more experience. And LeBron, watching him in preseason, looks the same. Like we've never seen anybody in sports age like LeBron ever. We really haven't.
Right.
No.
And you can say whatever you want to say about LeBron and mention your favorite star. Let's just say KD's your favorite star. But we just mentioned about how year after year he has these little nagging injuries and here and there. I mean, you can say that with every superstar, but LeBron James, like, it just seems like he may have a little small injury, but then he comes back ready to go for the playoffs for the entirety of it. And so, I like the Lakers, but I'm going to put Denver coming out of the West because they are the Western Conference NBA champions still until someone beats them. So to me, that gives them that nod to still get number one. And then as it goes under that, coming out of the West, I mean, I think you got the Lakers. I think you got Phoenix in there. I think you got Memphis in there. You got Golden State still. I still believe that Golden State is a top 5, top 6 NBA team on the West.
High basketball pedigree for the Warriors there. Yeah.
Dallas didn't make a lot of moves. They kept Kyrie, which was needed because they've made so many trades recently that they had to be able to re-sign their free agent. But I don't, Luka and Kyrie, will see what they do in their second year and a full year together. Who else we got? Angel, he said, don't sleep on the Sacramento Kings. We're low-key forgetting about the Kings.
The Kings are up there.
They almost beat Golden State in the first round of the playoffs. They're a very young team, and they're hungry. De'Aaron Fox is definitely one of the best players in the league.
Did they add
right now?
They didn't really add pieces.
I don't think they needed to, though. I think they had.
What's that? Keegan? What's the guy? Keegan
Murray?
Bruh.
Yeah, Keegan Murray. He was a rookie last year. He was killing it.
Unstoppable.
Yeah. He's fantastic.
You got
he
Sabonis'
is unstoppable.
son, baby Sabonis.
Yeah, and Sabonis looked like he been practicing his 15-foot jumper.
Yeah,
which they desperately needed. In that Golden State Warriors series. But I got the Kings 5-6 in the West. Yeah. They're still up there.
And then Memphis, John Morant's missing the first 25 games, and we just found out Steven Adams is going to miss the season, having season-ending surgery.
The odds switched. I'm glad you mentioned that, Quan. The odds for them to win the championship went from 25-1 to now 30-1.
Wow.
And their win total was moved by about 4 or 5 games for the season after his suspension. This is just a little side note for you bettors out there. I'm talking to myself. For those bettors out there, when he gets back from his suspension, they were a pretty good home team, Dre, last year. Memphis has 30 home games after he comes back from suspension. He has 30. They have 30 home games left. So I think that is a factor to their overall win total. That's a help because they were pretty good at home.
Yeah. I think that Memphis, with that first 25 games that John Morant sits out, I think it puts them, down the line like 8, 9, trying to fight their way in it in the last minute. And then that's when you have the Kings and the New Orleans Pelicans come up to get into those 6, 5 spots before the Memphis
and they got
Grizzlies.
rid of the troublemaker, and they got Marcus Smart to replace him, which is a major upgrade. And Desmond Bane, to me, I love John Morant. Desmond Bane, to me, is their most important player, though. He's a really good player. He slept on a lot. I mean, he could definitely be an all-star.
They lose Dylan Brooks. They send him to Houston. I mean, can you imagine the amount of aspirin that the coaching staff is going to be going through in Houston with all of the headaches and the constant potential threat of strip club Hall of Famer James Harden possibly returning to the Houston area. Houston Rockets coaching staff has got to have a headache they wake up with a headache.
I don't think so. I think Udoka comes from that Popovich
he's
coaching
up for the challenge.
He's up for the challenge, but they're not going to put up with it. No, they're not. I mean, they told that Houston team, hey, you guys were pretty exciting looking last year, but it won't be that same squad that's moving forward. And they already released a player, brought in somebody else. I think it's gonna
they have a lot of young talent.
Yeah, they do.
They could be up and coming team. They could actually make some strides quickly.
I don't see them making the playoffs.
And Dylan Brooks already got kicked out of a preseason game, so he's already doing.
He's already hit the guy in the groin.
Yeah,
he
already
ejected. He got fighting with fans or something. He did some exhibition game. They're playing on the road, like in Austin or something. He's arguing with a fan.
Yeah.
It's already hijinks.
He's about 2 fights and 3 suspensions away from not being in the league.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yep. And then the last team I want to talk about in the West, they got the Rookie of the Year already. I'm crowning him unless he gets hurt. But Victor Wembanyama, if you're not a believer, if you haven't watched him yet, even just in preseason, I mean, there's some pictures of him like jumping up, blocking shots of Andrew Wiggins, who jumps pretty high when he shoots a 3, right? Victor Wembanyama looked like he was 3 or 4 feet over him blocking the shot. I mean, he looks ridiculous. He could dribble.
He looks 10
He's
feet
dribbling
tall.
under his legs. Like this dude is ridiculous, and he's a kid still. Like that's amazing to me. So San Antonio tanked last year, worked for them. What do you guys think about Wembanyama, what you've seen from him so far?
I can't wait.
And I mean, I think he's an anomaly in this league.
Yeah. I think with his height, his basketball skill, and his IQ already paired up with Popovich, I think barring injury, I think he's going to have a better NBA career than Zion Williamson. Most definitely.
I mean, Zion, we're still waiting for Zion to have his career,
Still waiting for him to start it, yeah.
And that's the thing too. Like I think we forgot about the Pelicans. Like they were one of the best teams in the league last year until, they weren't. But they were doing really well, and then he went out again, and he just can't play a half a season at all.
Foot issues and knee issues.
Yeah.
And
It's weight issues.
it's weight issues.
and hunger issues. I mean, so
And we talked about that before he got in the league.
Yeah.
And if we knew that, why doesn't he know that? Why don't the people around him know that?
Well, he
why
talked
have they
about
let
it.
this happen?
He talked about it, and he admitted that being around food is really hard. He likes to.
Amen.
Sometimes people use food as a comfort,
Definitely.
right, for them. Right. I know people who have depression who go to food. I know people who don't have depression and go to food. I know people who wake up in the middle of the night and say, you know what, I want to eat a whole sandwich right now, right? And so that comfort food, especially when you were in New Orleans, man. I don't know how many times you've been in New Orleans, but
I've never been there, but I mean,
my goodness, man.
I've had New Orleans style food,
Yes, man.
and I love soul food.
Yeah, but you go to New Orleans and have some of their real life jambalaya, beignets, just everything that they put their hands on out there. It has a touch of soul to it. I mean, I get it, right? But let's be honest. Zion Williams was big before he got to New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
He's a down south kid. I think he's from South Carolina or something like
He
that.
busted out of a shoe in college.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
mean, you know, he has to really look himself in the mirror and say, you know, what do I really want for my future and for myself? And so not only, you know, money wise, but health wise.
Yeah.
You can't continue to be, you know, carry yourself that weight and still be healthy.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I like Wembanyama. He is what is advertised.
He could be very special, really special, super talent. Does all the right things. Seems to have a good head on his shoulders. Been sort of mentally preparing. It's sort of like a kind of like a under the radar, really cool moment for him because he grew up as a fan of Tony Parker, who is a French player, to be drafted to the Spurs. The team that he played on, the club teams that he played on, were all kind of like feeders into Spurs minor farm system, whatever. He's been a fan of the Spurs since he was a little kid.
Yeah.
So it's a cool type of moment for you to grow up playing for the team that you've been
were a
watching
fan
your
of.
entire life. Yeah.
And Frank, I really believe that you know, he's probably going to average 20. He can average 20 and 15.
Oh, easy. I think he averages more than 20, y'all. But yeah, he's at least 20 and 3 blocks. I mean, he had 3 blocks in the first quarter the other day.
Yeah, I'm talking about like before the game starts, you know that you're 15 rebounds down.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's I can't
here's
wait
the
to
thing
watch
too,
him.
like he's been healthy, and everyone keeps saying, "Well, if he stays healthy," but he's been healthy. Like just because he's skinny, like we saw KD go through the same thing coming out of college. Just because you're skinny doesn't mean you're not healthy or you're more brittle than someone else. Because you're used to carrying that weight. You're used to your
it's
body.
that generational type of a talent that we may be seeing. Is that, you know, we get it with a Kobe or a Duncan or a LeBron or those types of level of talent.
Yeah.
That we could be seeing that with this guy. He's a kid. I mean, but it's exciting. I'm really excited to watch him play. I mean, I'm looking forward to watching Spurs games, which I probably haven't said in like 10 years.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm excited to see him.
They got a good team.
Yeah, they do.
They do. They got a good young squad there.
That's League Pass worthy. We can't wait to watch some League Pass with some Spurs games.
Oh, I love League Pass. I got 4 TVs. One's broke, so I got to buy a new one. The middle one.
We're gonna get you the ticker up here so you can do like the betting lines and everything.
I
Open
need
the
someone to
book
get up there and change my clock. Power went out a month and a half ago.
Yeah, it's been like that a couple months.
It's been pretty bad.
I think keeping track of
That was the
Philippines.
storm. That was our hurricane.
And that was my main go-to for the show is like I knew how much time I had. Or I'm looking at my co-host like, finish it up.
He's taking 4-hour shows now. And then the last team in the West, I know I said that twice, but the last team in the West that we all forget about because they never play is the LA Clippers, which this is their last year in
those guys.
Staples, but they're the only team rumored to even be in the James Harden trade hunt, which to me, the only reason they would make a James Harden trade is because they're moving into a new building next year and they need to sell that building. They need to sell a new fan base to the Clippers. So like having a big name, but that would kill any type of chemistry they have. He wouldn't, if he doesn't want to play with Embiid, who looks like, I feel like Embiid's probably the like easiest guy to play with, right? In the league. Like a fun guy. He wants a star. He's not saying like, I need all these shots myself. Embiid looks like he's a easy guy to play with another star. Harden has not wanted to play anywhere with anybody. Like he acts like he does, but then right when he gets there,
He's upset.
He doesn't want to be there. We've seen it forever. We saw it in Houston. I've mentioned it before when Dwight Howard got traded there. Oh, I can't wait. They didn't work out at all. Like it helped end Dwight Howard's career. Dwight Howard wasn't the same playing with him. Seeing him go to Brooklyn, seeing him go to Philly, and then he wanted to go back to Houston after everything he did to Houston. And now he wants to go to L.A. Do you think he wants to go to L.A. to win? No, he wants to go to L.A. to hang out, to get paid, to maybe get some bigger and better endorsements. But Kawhi Leonard and Paul George don't need that headache in their life.
Well, you know, that's funny how we just talk about the Clippers last, right? And the entire time I'm thinking, okay, who are the best teams in the West? Clippers never crossed my mind. You know why? And it's not because I'm a Laker fan or a Clipper hater. It's because Clippers have to show me that they can actually be healthy.
Yeah.
Clippers, ever since they've had this Leonard and Paul George, they have not been healthy. I mean, Jerry West even said, I don't know what it is.
And
Why
he said
can't
that
you
on
guys?
Paul George's podcast,
Yes.
to
Why
Paul
can't you
George.
guys stay healthy? I mean, we
Man.
have this dynamic team, and you guys can't stay healthy.
It's a reality show.
It is. I don't
very
think that
weird.
the Clippers are going to be healthy again. I don't think that they have enough chemistry when it comes to being healthy all at the same time for long periods of time.
Yeah.
And so if I am the Clippers and you are looking at trying to bring James Harden in, Leonard or Paul George has to go. You have to break that up. There's not going to be a big three over here. It's going to be one or the other. I mean, you know, the 76ers would love to have Paul George over there working with
Oh, that'd be interesting.
with you know,
Embiid,
Joel
Embiid.
Embiid.
Yeah.
They would love that. They would love Kawhi Leonard. Let's just get rid of James Harden, but we need to have somebody back.
Sure.
Clippers aren't doing that, because if that was an option, I think that would have already been done a long time ago, because Philly would have jumped on
Yes.
that for sure.
But it's like what you said.
But
They're trying to sell tickets.
Yeah, but Clippers have not been through the fire
Not at all.
with each other healthy enough to pull out W's when it comes close to getting to the Western Conference Finals.
They haven't been through stretches of games with each other. They don't play together long
Yeah.
enough to. Yeah, that's true.
What can you do?
It's
All
brutal.
right, let's move on to the Eastern Conference. For all you Eastern Conference fans, sorry that we took so long on the West, but we are West Side. Eastern Conference, I mean, Miami made it to the NBA Finals. No one really predicted them when the playoffs started. They beat Milwaukee, upset them in the first round, which made Milwaukee fire their coach. They got a new coach now in Adrian Griffin. Terry Stotts was the head assistant there and quit already. And he was Lillard's coach for 9 years, I think, and he just quit last week. So him and Adrian Griffin were getting along. That's not good news to start your season when someone quits in preseason.
It's kind of weird.
I don't think it's weird. I think it's a lot of underlining. First off, Stotts was the Portland head coach for years with Dame Lillard, right? And Dame Lillard came over there. Stotts wanted he wanted no part of it.
That was
right.
it.
He's already done that, been there, done that with him. And so I think that
You talking about Stotts with Dame or Dame with Stotts?
Stotts with Dame.
Okay.
Dame with Stotts, however you want to put it. But either name first. I just think that their chemistry together has reached this point. And so obviously they weren't going to not sign Dame because Stotts were there.
Of course.
Stotts, he knew ever since they were talking about Dame, if they get Dame, that he knew that they were going to leave. I don't think it was a spur of the moment. I'm not going to be there.
But
He knew he wasn't.
Here's what I read is that it was during practice, Stotts and Griffin were getting along. Like, him and Dame have a great relationship, and he actually texted Dame before he announced it. But what happened in practice is they wanted the players to go to one side and all the coaches to come to one side. But Stotts wanted to talk with the players some more, with Giannis and Lillard. And Adrian Griffin, who's a first-time head coach in the league and a lot younger than Stotts, yelled at him like in front of everyone, saying, I told you to get over here.
Oh, boy.
And that's what happened, and that's what made him think like, yo, I've been a head coach for a long time in this league. Was he the head coach of Milwaukee before? Who was he with before he went to Portland? Terry Stotts.
You know, it's a good question. We can pull it
I
up.
feel like he might have been Milwaukee's coach before. I'm not sure.
Or
But
he was on the staff.
I know he had been a head coach before that, but that seems to be it, because that was my first initial thought too. Was okay, it made sense. Like, Dame gets traded there, 3 weeks later he's gone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he was assistant coach of the Mavericks before he went to the Blazers, and he coached for the Bucks back in 2005.
Yep.
Okay,
Oh.
I'm good. Dang.
You know, I believe that if that did happen with Griffin, he's going to say, you know what? I am the coach that knows Dame Lillard the most and may know where he wants his spots and how to incorporate him on this new team. Guess what? You don't have that anymore in me. I'm out.
Yeah.
Right.
Find it out yourself. Deal with it yourself.
As Griffin being a younger coach, and you have coached for a long time, and I haven't, you do got to make a stand for yourself, though. Like, I know you've been around longer, but I'm hired as the head coach.
Yeah,
you
but
do
when-
need to listen to me. But yelling in front of your
Yeah,
players,
but when
that's
it-
something you take them to the
When
back.
in Rome, you must do as the Romans, right? You can't be a first-time head coach and say, you know what, I'm going to buck the system, and now I'm going to curse out or talk to all of the other veteran coaches who've been,
Right.
who will get other jobs probably
Yeah.
before me. Let's just be honest, any kind of way, and you can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, when in Rome, you must do as a Rome. You know, as the Romans, and so. You know, I'm giving Griffin to the end of his contract before they let him go because they may find that he is not the coach that is going to get this Bucks team over the hump.
He
I don't care how
might
many.
not.
He signed a 4-year contract.
That sounds right.
If this doesn't work with Dame and
two.
Giannis, he's gone quick.
And two,
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah,
gone in 2.
he's on a shorter
And if it
leash.
blows up this year after they made that trade and got rid of Drew Holiday, which is a way better defender than Dame Lillard, and if they have another first round exit, that might be his demise too. If things are a little rocky, but
so how far do the Bucks go?
I really think with this trade, hopefully Dame could stay healthy. You could tell it's giving Giannis new life. But the East is tough. But I will put them in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Celtics.
52.5, Dre. That's their win total for the season. 52.5.
I put them in Celtics 1 and 2 with Philly not knowing what's going on with Harden and what they are going to get back if they win and if they do trade him. He hasn't even been showing up to practice. They don't even know where he's at right
It's
now. And
tragic.
they have a game tomorrow. So we don't. Philly's not gonna. And I hate to say it because I love Embiid. I want to see him at least get to the finals and have a chance
that's
to
not
win.
happening.
But he's not doing that this year. Miami got a little worse. They were saving up and let people go because they thought they were getting Lillard. They lost Gabe Vincent to the Lakers.
That's fine.
They lost the white dude to Cleveland. What was his name? Strauss.
Yep,
The
Strauss.
white dude.
The white dude.
But I mean, listen, they're going to be fine. They could. You got Jimmy Buckets, you're fine. You got Bam, you're fine.
Spoelstra is a fantastic coach.
Yes, he is.
And he comes up with great schemes.
Yes.
And great in-game coaching.
And he's a good plug-and-play guy.
He is.
And those people I named that left got paid because of Spoelstra.
Yeah.
They got paid and got
yeah,
to be
that's
on
true.
other teams because of Eric
He
Spoelstra.
made him some money.
Yeah.
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 Well, I think that they already found a replacement for Gabe Vincent. They've already found a replacement for Strauss.
Who'd they get for Gabe? I'm gonna pull up their roster.
Yeah, pull up their roster. But I was watching in preseason, and the players that they had in preseason, I'm like, oh no, these some big gamers too. They may not be, household names, but what Miami always does, and what Spoelstra always does, is he always takes these guys that nobody else wants. They have an excellent scouting team when scouting good basketball players and system guys that you could plug into a great system that they have. And I think that Miami is going to still be there. I think they're going to have a better record than the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't see
Miami will.
Yeah, Miami will
Yeah.
most definitely.
Yeah,
I think it'll go.
Philly's gonna
I
struggle.
think it'll go like Boston, Milwaukee, Miami, everybody else.
Who's Philly's coach now? There was so many coaching changes. I
Philly has Snyder. No,
No,
not Snyder.
Quinn Snyder's coaching in the Hawks.
the Hawks, but Philly has it's on the tip of my tongue. We'll pull
I know
it up.
Monty Williams went to Detroit.
Detroit. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't.
it was the old Toronto coach.
oh, it's Nick Nurse.
Oh,
Nick
Nick
Nurse.
Nurse. I forgot Nick Nurse is gone. Who's Toronto's coach?
Nick Nurse.
No, it's not Nick Nurse.
It's Vince Carter.
It's not Vince Carter either.
Because
It may be Drake.
I think his whole coaching staff
I
got
think it's-
fired because Earl Watson's not coaching.
Frank,
in
you
the
think it's
NBA
Drake?
this year.
I think it's Drake.
Drake. Chicago Bulls. Lonzo Ball is missing the full season, which was announced in March that he's missing the whole season this season. Man, I want them to be good. There's some teams you just want to be good and want to be able to compete. And they look like they were doing it 2 seasons ago. At the beginning of the season, they looked like the best team in the East for a minute, and then they just fell apart.
Yeah.
Zach LaVine is always up and down.
No.
What I heard through the shoe gate of Ball's dad is that they got poor quality shoes, and that's why he's got the chronic foot problems. Is because the shoes were poorly made, and people were they were declining to wear the shoes. Other college and high school players, they'd wear them for 1 or 2 games, and they're like, these shoes are garbage. And they would switch back to other stuff, and I think it created.
He kept wearing them
he
to
stayed
try to
faithful to it because
faithful to that
because he's
brand.
got investment in it. He's making money off of that. That's his long term plan,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you're owning your own shoe brand. Notice that what's his name, Mello, isn't wearing it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Was he wearing Puma or something like that? I don't know.
It looked like Hot Wheels.
A lot
on your
a
feet.
lot of the colorways now for some of the shoes are like, wow.
Yeah.
Those are shoes for like 9-year-olds.
I mean, you bring up the Bulls. I mean, Bulls need to move on from Levine, and they just need to really just revamp. I mean, I don't know what the Bulls need to do. Maybe go out and make a trade for Zion, and maybe into the sweepstakes of trying to get Klay Thompson over there, and maybe they may, have something in the works. But I don't see the Bulls doing anything with this present roster that they have. I like it. It's a good roster. It's
They
a
got
good team to watch.
DeRozan, who's looked really good.
Yeah, DeRozan's always going to look good.
Yeah.
But DeRozan, at some point, when they don't do good this year, he's going to want to be on another team next year. And so, DeRozan may be coming back west.
Yeah.
And whether that be with Sacramento, the Clippers, the Lakers, Denver. I mean, seeing DeRozan in that Denver role, yikes. With that young
San
squad.
Antonio brings them back as a vet to help.
Right?
That would
help
be
there.
interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, DeRozan's his time in Chicago, I think is really short. And for you Chicago Bulls fans, those
Sorry.
days where, the Bulls were on top of the East, you just got a long, long road to go to get back to that point.
All right, give me
Longer.
your top 5 in the East.
Top 5 in the East, I would say you want to go 5-1.
Yeah.
5 would probably be, that's kind of like my surprise team for the Eastern Conference, is going to be the Hawks. And then I would say it's because
I'm really interested in the
I
Hawks.
like Quinn
with-
Snyder and that Trae Young
Yes.
working together. I think stats kind of drop off with Trae Young, but I think overall as a team, I think they're gonna. I
want to see the
better as a
Trae
team.
Young and DeJounte Murray dynamic this
Yes.
year, because Murray is one of my favorite players
Yep.
in the league that a lot of people don't know about.
Oh, he slept on.
So I'd say the Sixers 4th, just because of Embiid and just the fact that he is
Really? You think?
Yeah, I think that. That's 4th. I don't think
Yeah.
they're going to be.
But still, I don't have him in my top 5.
Because I like Embiid and I like the pieces around him. I think that they're able to do. The East has some bad teams, and they have some size advantages over some of those teams. 3rd for me is Miami, because I just think that Spoelstra is that good of a coach. 2nd is the Bucks, because I'm concerned about what their overall chemistry is going to be, but I think over the course of the season, I think they're going to play really well. And then number 1 is because the team has the depth, they have the bench, they've got studs everywhere. It's the Celtics. I think actually they're going to have the best record in the league. I like the Celtics a lot for the East.
All right, Dre, who you got?
Number 5, I'm gonna go with a really, really, really dark horse. Number 5, I'm going Toronto. Going Toronto. Still number 5. I like what Toronto has. They come out, they play hard every year, and every year it seems like they shock people into making it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Not me. They still got Siakam, and he's still a stud.
Yeah, but they lost the point guard, light-skinned dude.
Fred.
Yeah, Fred Van Vliet.
Vliet
Went to Houston.
went to Houston. Good luck, Fred, over in Houston.
Darko Rajakovic is the coach for the Raptors. He's assistant coach for the Grizzlies, I think.
Okay.
He got the job there.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I got 5 at Toronto. I got 4 at the Hawks. I got number 3 coming in nice and hot, the Miami Heat. I got number 2, Milwaukee. Boston, number 1.
All right. If you guys are watching on Facebook, I want to encourage everyone to go subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we're going to be doing a lot more on YouTube, more than Facebook. We'll still stream on Facebook Live a little bit, but we're just trying to build the YouTube channel up more. And we do have chats that we could actually play from YouTube. It didn't come out right, but those are hearts. But yeah, if you guys are watching on Facebook, please go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe, and yeah, let us know how you feel. Give us your top 5 in the East and top 5 in the West. So I'm gonna give you guys my top 5 in the East. You guys are sleeping on a team from New York.
The Knicks.
Oh, yeah.
The Knicks. I'm
Oh, yeah,
putting,
that-
I'm
No,
putting
they're 6.
Yeah, I had him at 6 too, actually.
Yeah.
okay.
I'm a 6.
I got Knicks at 5.
Okay.
I do have. I'm actually gonna put Atlanta at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I missing? Oh, Miami. I think they're going to be like they were last year and have a slow start to the season, so they're not actually in my top 5. I'm putting Cleveland at number 3, who gained a lot, didn't lose anything, and are going to have another year of experience. People sleep on Cleveland. They have a good team there. They have a really good team there.
Yeah, Cleveland was 6 or 7.
And then Milwaukee, number 2, and Boston. I mean, Boston has not lost anything. They lost Marcus Smart, but then you get Drew Holiday. You'll take that any day. But man, Boston's going to be tough, and so
They are.
I'm hoping for my dream matchup this season in 2024, Lakers versus Celtics, to break the tie. They both have 18 championships. That would be a dream matchup, not just for me, but for the NBA, because that would be big money.
That'd be dope.
NBA Finals.
They
right
cut,
there.
they
NBA
cut, they
fans,
cut
I mean,
Wenyen
this-
Gabriel, man.
Where's winning?
He went over to Boston, and they
he's
cut
in
him.
they cut him.
They cut him, man. Come on, Lakers, pick him back up. I thought he was huge for you guys last year.
Bring it
Yeah,
back.
he's a baller.
I wanted to mention real quick about the in-season tournament.
Okay.
I
forgot about
I
that,
think that we could probably get surprises from that tournament. Like in the East, you could get like teams trying to figure things out. Like, how about like a team like the Pacers or the Magic being one of those teams that's able, because of the group play?
Do you know most players don't even they still are confused about the in-season
Yes,
tournament. They don't
they
even know
are.
when those games are.
Because like 3 weeks after the season starts, they play
start
in their groups.
They start that.
It's like 2 and 2 and 1.
It's
and then
very
they advance
confusing.
to elimination.
It's very confusing, but it
is.
is interesting. I mean, I'm interested because they're coming to Vegas to
Semifinals
play.
and championship will be in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Somebody got the Nets at number 3.
Who said that?
DeQuincy Taylor. We're not going to say any names, but I mean, I like the Nets. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think Ben Simmons does what KD and Kyrie couldn't even do. And that's make them top 3. I just don't. I don't do it. I can't see it.
All right, so DeQuincy said Miami, Cavs, Nets. Listen, Ben Simmons is still there. And I like the Nets. I like their young squad. They have some good players, but they couldn't even be top
Wait, so
3
they have
with KD and Kyrie.
No.
They don't have the
That's what-
he doesn't have
they're
the
not
Celtics
gonna-
in the top 3, or the Bucks in the top 3.
He had Celtics and Bucks.
Okay.
2 and 1.
Okay, I'm just checking. All right, sorry.
He doesn't even have. Yeah,
Wow.
Miami's not. I mean, Atlanta Hawks not in there. Sixers not in there. I mean, I get it. But
Knicks.
You know, a lot of people sleeping on the Knicks.
Fair.
Knicks are still trying to make that trade. They're really wanting Embiid. They really want Embiid. They want him now.
Yeah,
That
they
would
do.
be great for them.
It'd be
It
great
wouldn't
for
be
him.
good
It'd be
for
great for
Phil.
New York.
Wouldn't be great
It'd
for
be
Phil.
great for them.
But what would they have to give up? Everybody.
Randall,
Definitely Julius.
Julius Randall for sure. Some picks.
They would have to try to keep Brunson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Stay.
you got to keep
He's
Brunson.
the QB.
Yeah,
Staying there.
you're gonna keep Brunson and the lefty, Zeus Eye.
He says Zeus.
What's his last name? The lefty.
You talking about from Duke?
Yeah.
I can't think of his name. It's the big 3 at Duke, Frank. Zion, Cam Reddish, and come on, Todd, call in.
Cam Reddish,
Zion
Williamson,
Williamson.
and
Starts
I'm
with
gonna-
an R.
I'm
There's
gonna
an R
remember.
somewhere. Why can't I think of his name? Why can't any of us think of his name? If you're in the chat, please let us know his name. That's how long we've been out of the NBA. Chris Wynn says Sixers 5, 4 Miami, 3 Cavs, 2 Bucks, and 2 Celtics. So he has Bucks and Celtics at number 2.
RJ Barrett.
RJ
Barrett.
Barrett. Gosh.
I'm
They're
an
gonna keep
idiot.
him, but they really want Embiid.
They got like 9 players from Villanova on the
If
Knicks.
they
Yeah,
do
they have a
that,
bunch
if
of
the
Villanova.
Knicks are able to pull off an Embiid trade, that puts them on my list at 3. Knicks,
And it's
Milwaukee. I mean,
this year.
this year,
yeah.
Boston,
yeah.
Milwaukee, Knicks.
I like Jalen Brunson and Embiid together. That would be ridiculous. That would be really cool.
And it's getting to the point where I'm not sure if Embiid publicly requests a trade, but he's been so patient with Philly. He's trusted their process.
They've been
for so
patient
long.
with him too.
He's
Trust
been more
the
patient with
process.
it.
Come with
I
him.
feel you.
Okay, yeah.
I feel you, but he's been healthy
Late.
recently.
And would he miss his first 2 or 3?
Yeah,
Yeah.
They've been patient with him too.
yeah. But he's had to go through the Ben Simmons fiasco and now the James Harden fiasco and I had Jimmy buckets and you guys didn't re-sign
And the
him
Markel
fiasco.
Fitz fiasco.
Marco Fultz fiasco.
Oh my gosh.
I forget
yeah.
about him. He's still in the league. He's
Yeah.
still in Orlando.
Orlando. He's actually doing really
it's his,
good.
Contract year is this season. So
Okay,
I
so
mean,
we'll see what he does.
I think Orlando could surprise people. I'm not saying they're going to win the East, but I'm saying that they're
No.
going to compete.
They could make
they
the
could be
playoffs.
they could be the play-in thing. They could be
Okay,
a 9 or
they could be in
10.
the
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I always forget. I can't even name 5 players on Orlando.
Yeah, but I think they're better than the Pacers and the Charlotte Hornets and, those teams. I think they're better than those teams. So.
It's funny you brought up the Hornets. During MJ's ownership, they're clearing out the coach and the general manager, I think, after this season. The Hornets will do like a total rehaul, right? During his ownership, do you know how many games Jordan's Hornets lost in the 13 years of ownership? Do you know how many games they lost in 13
In
years?
13 years, there's 82 games
If
a
you had to
season.
guess the total.
They have a
games.
losing record almost every year.
Yes.
1,000 games.
They lost 600 games.
That seems about right.
They won 423. It's wild.
That
That's
is wild.
It
That's
would take
wild
them
to
a
me.
long time.
They were really
to get over
100 and
500.
something losses away from being 50-50. Yikes.
Brutal.
Wow,
They averaged 32 wins a season.
that's wild,
That's wild. Yeah, it is.
man. All right, I mean, did we get final predictions? I got Lakers and Celtics. Frank, who you got?
I'm going. I didn't even give my Western Conference, but I'm
Oh.
just gonna say. I'm gonna say the Nuggets just because of the overall. I think that Jamal Murray and Jokic are just that good.
And you're right.
Nuggets, Celtics.
Jamal's gonna be better this year
Yeah.
because last year he was coming off that injury and was still hesitant.
Nuggets, Celtics, Nuggets, repeat.
Whoa, back to back.
Back to back. Nuggets.
Dre, what do you got?
Nuggets, Celtics.
Hey,
Celtics win.
I like it.
They got Kristoff. You guys didn't talk about Kristoff being a
Oh,
dark
they got
horse.
Porzingis.
They got Porzingis. I mean, he's
right.
not this like great guy, but he's a
No,
pretty
listen, if
good
he stays
complimentary
healthy,
player.
That's huge for them if he
Yeah.
stays healthy.
I think he plays off of them really well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That could be fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also think that Nuggets Lakers game goes 7 to get to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
What if Lakers have home court?
Ooh.
Lakers win that with home court.
I don't know.
It's going to be interesting. I do want
I'm
to
gonna
see.
go with
I
a
do
little
wanna
bit
see them
more
play again,
chemistry at that point.
though. Yeah, I do want to see them play again because
I got the Lakers tonight. I took them already plus 5.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't care. Like I'm interested. But I want to see it in the playoffs. I want to see what Lakers do because they're talking a lot because Denver beat Miami in the finals, but the whole narrative was Mike Malone is Lakers' daddy. You know what I'm saying?
And
They kept talking about the Lakers, and Lakers like, yo, you beat us a long time ago. You beat us a month ago, and you're still talking about beating us when you played another team in the finals to win the championship. But they were so hyped to beat the Lakers that they talked a little too much, and they've been talking some mess.
Anybody beats LeBron though, they pump their chest. You kind of like hang your identity on being able to beat LeBron.
Yeah.
So they get pumped for that.
Well, in his 20th year, pump your chest all you want.
Right.
His 20th year, he may pay 23. Yikes.
There's a rumor he wants to play with Bryce now, who's
Oh my
Which
word.
would take him into 2024.
My goodness.
no longer than that. That's Bronny. He wants to play with Bryce.
No, well,
The
Bronny
younger
could
Bryce
come
is
out
his
within the
junior
next
in high
2
school, right? now this year. He's
Yeah.
a junior in high school.
Yeah.
Who?
Bryce is
Yeah.
a junior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think it would take him to 2024 because if Bryce is really good, he
Well,
only needs to,
24 is the end of this season.
or not 2024, 2028.
Oh, yeah.
My gosh.
4 more years for Bron.
But listen, he's still like close to his. LeBron's still playing close to his prime. So if he's still playing close to his prime right now in year 21, he could average 15 in 4 more years, right?
You're able to manage the
sure
minutes and the way they spread out the schedule. Sure, they could.
Well,
do
you
that.
know he's going to do his part by keeping his body right?
Yeah.
I think
Spending millions.
they really need to start looking
he
at
might be a
them.
vampire.
He might be.
And Chris
mutant.
Wynn, man, we got to give Detroit props because they still won't make the playoffs, but they have a good young squad.
They do have a good team.
They have a lot of Jalen's and Jadens over there, I think.
They lead the league in Jaden.
I think Detroit, with the tutelage of Monty over there, they're about 3 to 5 years away from actually being mentioned all the time.
Yeah.
As far as making the playoffs, so I think they're on the right track.
Yeah, they're doing the right thing.
Where's Dwight Howard going?
China.
Back to China.
You mean to tell me he's not that good?
Listen, he's better than a lot
Come
of these
on,
backup
man.
centers I see. I really
Go
thought
to Memphis. Memphis just lost a big guy.
I really thought he was going to go to
Oh.
Golden State. I really thought
I
that was
did
going to
too.
happen. There was rumors about that. I thought
I
it was
like
going
the
to happen.
Memphis
I
idea.
like the
though,
Memphis
Dre.
idea, man. You can't hurt it. It can't hurt.
Yeah.
Right now, they need players. They're out. They're down their best player. They're down a big guy. Put Dwight Howard over there. He's not going to give you big, but he fits their defensive scheme and rebounding. Bring him over there.
You give him 10 and 30-day contracts until you see
Yes.
that he's comfortable in the system, and then figure something out.
There you go.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Take a shot.
All right. NFL real quick. 49ers lost. Pittsburgh won. Did you win?
Yeah.
Or you?
We won.
Raiders got beat by a no-name
We
quarterback.
lost to the guy who went to school to be a shepherd or something, or to Shepherd University.
Yeah,
He
I
went
don't
to
know.
school to be a
He
shepherd.
went to Shepherd University.
Or make shepherd's pie. Which
Yes.
one was
Make
it?
shepherd's
One of
pie.
those things. Last year, he played against Denver School of the Mines, like a mining school. The Raiders were playing like they're playing inside a mine. They looked awful.
Wow.
They're so great. I hate them.
Well,
We'll
49ers were on such a high the first 4 or 5 games.
I saw a meme saying 49ers just lost 2 games after they won the Super Bowl in week 5.
Wow. Okay, yeah. Shout out to Kareem, who's over there on the road. Went over there to saw the Vikings and Niners thing. He met Brock Purdy.
Yeah, he met Brock. He met his new best friend that he said in George Kittle.
They're best friends now, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We love you, Kareem.
Yeah.
That's great.
Shout out to Kareem. Kareem will be back on sometime this season. But, man, we appreciate everyone for tuning in. We'll talk more NFL next week, and you'll see these guys every once in a while with me on the show as well. I'm not talking anymore, NFL. I would have talked a lot of NFL if the 49ers would have won. Okay, our pop culture segment for the day. There's a list going around Facebook of top 30 places women absolutely refuse to go to on a first date.
Top 30.
30 places that women refuse to go to on a first date. This is the new generation of trying to date fellas.
Yikes.
It's bad. So I'm gonna pull the list up.
Yikes.
These are places that women will not let you take them on a first date.
So no eating in the back of my
Number
Jeep.
1, Cheesecake Factory. What
What?
is wrong with the Cheesecake Factory? I don't know. I love Cheesecake Factory.
Didn't you work at Cheesecake Factory?
I worked
So-
there for 4 years.
So you can't take a woman on the first date at the cheesecake.
No Cheesecake Factory.
Okay.
Number 2, Applebee's. Which I get it. Like,
It really is a fast food
that's
restaurant.
a fast food
We
restaurant.
switched gears really quick, didn't we?
Chili's is the same thing as Applebee's.
Chili's.
Chipotle.
Okay, I agree.
I'm not taking a girl out for the first date on Chipotle. Olive Garden.
I
Number
agree.
7 is my favorite, Dre.
The movies. I understand
Yep.
the movies. Like, you can't even talk. You're trying to get to know each other. What'd you say, Frank?
I said number 7 is my favorite.
Your house.
So you mean to tell me I can't make you a nice gourmet meal
Gourmet
meal
meal.
at my house?
Shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie from the Bears
Meatloaf,
quarterback.
meatloaf and corn.
Eight, any fast food chain. Listen, fellas, this one I agree with. Don't ever take a woman
No.
out for a first date or first 10 dates to a fast food restaurant.
Unless she's 12. What are we talking about?
And don't date a 12-year-old. Number 9.
Unless you're 12.
Unless you're 12.
And also that.
Buffalo Wild Wings? No.
Let's see.
That's number
Hold up. Rosalie Ogden, which is my mom, said a strip club.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
did
Unless
that
you
make
met
the
her
list?
there. But number
Wow.
9, Buffalo Wild Wings. Number 10, Wingstop. Number 11. Oh, I don't understand number 11. Red Lobster? I mean, I know that's not high classy.
Mm. I like them cheddar- I like them cheddar biscuits.
Cheddar biscuits. A buffet. This is vague. Well, buffets don't exist because of COVID.
Yeah.
IHOP,
Okay.
Denny's,
Okay.
the gym.
Okay.
I don't agree with that. What if you met a girl at the gym and that's like your first date? Is like, hey,
That's not a
let's
first
go
date.
work out and then we'll go somewhere afterwards, like my house.
But then it's that's number 7. That's a
IHOP.
foul.
I meant IHOP.
Yeah, IHOP. Yeah.
16 church. Why not church? Let me see if you love God or if
No.
the building burns when we walk in.
No.
But you're getting to know them in the biblical sense of long term. That's your plan, right?
You just don't go
Exactly.
there. You don't go there. No.
You can
I
get
don't know if
married
it's-
right after service if it's
No.
working out.
Oh
Okay.
wow,
No.
that's a great date.
Starbucks. Now, Starbucks.
No. You don't
I
take them
don't-
first date.
Okay,
no.
I don't agree because what if you meet them online and that's your first like meeting / date? Dating app, Frank. You meet her online. You're like, okay,
Is that what happens?
Let me meet her. Let me get to know her. You're on Tinder.
Yeah. No.
So no Starbucks?
I'd say probably not.
No.
Coffee dates, ice cream dates.
I did the ice cream dates in high school.
Yeah.
I mean, ice cream dates after dinner though. You definitely take her after dinner.
And this list is for adults, not for teenagers,
Yeah, not
right?
for teenagers.
Right.
Because this is
Not
a
for
really good
12-year-olds.
list for teenagers, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Like teenagers, if you're looking for places to take your teenage girlfriend first place, this is the list you look at.
Yeah. Family functions. Yeah, don't ever do that.
Yeah,
You're
don't
not
do
meeting my
that.
family unless
No.
we're dating for 2 years.
No,
That might not be like a 12th date.
21 movie night, Netflix, Hulu, and etc.
no. That's a booty call. It's not a first
not
date.
for the
22
first date.
somewhere that requires a long drive. It depends. Is it a long drive for her or you?
It's nice to meet you. Let's go to Utah.
Let's go to Utah. There's this really nice Red Lobster in St. George.
Nice.
Bowling,
Yeah, not a first date.
nightclubs,
No,
hookah bar,
no.
a bar for just drinks.
Yeah.
Buy her a meal if you take her to a bar.
Pretty much.
Waffle House.
Fingers and fries.
Shout out to the South.
Which fingers?
Sports event. I don't agree with number 28. Sports event?
Good fingers.
I'll stick in
sporting
my
event?
fingers.
A sports event's not a good first date. I don't agree. I don't agree with probably 4 of these.
Nah. You know
A
what?
sport event, I think that would be a good first date.
I'm-
If she's a fan too, not if like
If you find
you're a
out-
Steeler fan and she doesn't like football.
But you find out through the app that you find out through like a dating app or something like that, or however you got connected with this girl that you find out she's a big sports
Yeah.
fan. You get her tickets to go to see her favorite team.
That's an amazing first
That's
date.
a win-win,
Well,
right, for you and for
yeah.
her.
Exactly.
Well,
So
And she's a keeper after that.
yeah,
I'm probably going to be looked at a little bit different after this comment that I'm about to make.
nah.
But, you know, I'm going to have to agree with that list if you are a grown man or a grown woman, adult. If you're an adult, you don't take your first date to any of
The
those
whole
places.
list.
The whole list.
You agree with the whole
I
list?
agree with the entire list unless you're a teenager.
Cheesecake Factory's expensive.
The fact that I'm 47
Huge menu.
That's
and
all.
my food palate is a lot different. I'm gonna choose a place that fits my palate. I like steaks, so I may choose a
Hey.
great steakhouse or something really nice setting. But I wouldn't choose any of those places
A
because
place that's
I'm
kind of
older,
unknown, right?
man.
You want to take a girl to a place she's never really been to, especially in Vegas. Like, there's a lot of
Yes.
cool spots out here that are unknown.
yes.
So, yeah. I mean,
take her to the Cellar. It's downtown. It's a steakhouse. It's at the bottom of the D, and it's super low key.
Okay.
I mean, the places like that, but my palate is a lot different though too. I don't eat most of that food that's on there. But if I do go to Cheesecake Factory, I am ordering like the jambalaya or something like that. But Yeah, I agree with that list. I'm gonna have to
Tonight's
agree with
dinner
that
and
list.
then the walk after.
Chris
you know?
Wynn said, by the way, the list was inspired by a viral video in which bougie chick refused to get out of her car when a guy brought her to the Cheesecake Factory. Laughable.
I'm not getting out.
But there's also a way for women to act if you don't like the spot. At least you don't know his budget. He's still taking you out.
Let me tell you something, man. If any man takes a woman out on a date to any of those places and he genuinely likes one of those places and thinks that you're going to like one of those places and you actually don't, that we're not going.
Right.
Actually, we're going to walk up. I'm going to order off the menu for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to wait for that menu since you're riding with me unless you want to take an Uber home. I'm going to get my food and I'm going to take you home. You can go find the next man.
Are you paying for her Uber if she doesn't?
I'll pay for the Uber, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd pay for it.
It's a lot cheaper than the dinner that I would have paid for at Cheesecake Factory since you don't want to go.
Not if she lives in St. George.
If you're in St. George, you're going to have to hitchhike your way back. Let's get it.
Hitchhike. Oh, man.
Oh my
I
God.
agree
listen,
with
man.
that list. I really do.
Okay.
As an adult, I'm 47. I mean, but if I'm in the ages of 10 and 19, 20, that's a great list. But Cheesecake Factory is just a little question mark behind
Cheesecake
that.
and Red Lobster, I think that's fine. I think everything else.
First date.
And sporting event. Sporting event, like if a woman's into sports, if she's into the Golden Knights,
I think
every
it's
girl out
conditional
here wants to
about
go to the Golden Knights
sporting
game.
event. I don't think you should take them to a concert. I don't think you should take them to the movies
'Cause you
because you're
can't
not
talk.
getting to know them.
Yeah.
You're not talking
Yeah.
to them. Are you having fun?
Yeah.
I
Sporting
can't hear
event, there's a
anything.
lot of time in between. There's a lot of time outs. Like
Yeah, but you take them to a sporting event. I just don't think that nachos is a great first dinner date,
well, you could take them to dinner
I'm
after
listening.
the event or before.
but not to one of those places.
If you want to take me out for nachos, I'll go as a friend.
Well, we got to get going because I got to call someone up and let her know that not to meet me in Boca Park tonight.
Oh, I was gonna say you made reservations at Cheesecake.
Made reservations at Cheesecake for 7, so I got to switch those up real quick.
Whoops.
And go
But this isn't nothing first though, is it?
to Cleaver.
And tell them Dre sent you.
Tell them Dre sent me.
Cleaver's a good spot.
I actually haven't been there yet. I haven't even been to the other one. What's it called?
Herbs and Rye.
Herbs and
Rye,
Rye,
yeah.
yeah.
Up there on Sahara. It's great.
Yeah, tell them Dre sent you. Ask for Natalie. Tell them Dre sent you.
What about tacos and beer? Good first date?
Oh, come on.
I mean, it depends on the lady that you're taking out. If she's a tacos and beer and a sports person, then
Frank
yeah.
meets his ladies at tacos and beer.
Well, then that's
So
different.
that's automatic
There's
first
nothing
date
wrong with
It's a
that.
first date by default.
by default.
Was that a
He
first
just sits
date
there.
when we went out with the group? Was that girl? Was it like the first time hanging out? That
So we appreciate
that
you
female?
guys for tuning
all
in.
right. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you for tuning in. We will see you guys next Monday, probably 4 p.m. I think we're going to be doing the shows at 4 p.m. Frank might be here once in a while. Dre might be here once in a while. But check out Dre every Saturday morning, unless he tells me when he's not coming. Every Saturday at 2 p.m. on Let the Ball Bounce. And check out Frank on Into the West Comics every Thursday at
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Yes,
6
sir.
p.m.
And I love
My
steaks.
mom said, talk to me,
Me
Frank.
too.
No, if I take you anywhere on
Hi.
the first date, it's got to be a steak involved.
Okay. You must have never dated a vegan.